change my life. I will no longer be defined by what someone else believes that I am. And now that I have dropped the weight, I am light as a feather. It's time to elevate.
Hey, welcome back to Behind Her Eyes podcast, where I am your host, Madeline Jones of Behind Her Eyes Mentoring LLC, located in Baltimore, Maryland. Beautiful girl, I've come back on this week to tell you that the world is yours and that today we are going to conquer your identity and we're going to overcome what social media and what the world says that you should look like. We are breaking the chains of identity crisis. So many times we identify ourselves but by the people that we see on television, superstars, models, and all of these people that surround us in the world and media. But we never take a chance to embrace that God made us just who we are and that He created us in His own image to be unique, to stand out, to have our own defining ways and characteristics and attributes. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about overcoming the boundaries of identity and knowing that God created you just the way that you are. And if you ask me, I would say that you are absolutely amazing, that you are beautiful, that you are the creation of the Master's hands, that He formed you in a way that you would stand out against the world and defy all odds and break the box and the mold of being held into a limitation of what you should look like. We have different complexions. We have different eyes. My eyes might be set far apart while yours might be close together. Yours might be slightly slanted while mine might be big and round. But guess what? That's what makes us unique. I may have long, thick, luxurious hair while you have thinner, curlier hair. But that's what makes us stand out. I might be thicker while you might be slimmer and more petite. But that's what makes us different. I may have a few beauty marks on my face and you might have freckles. But that's what makes us different. So I want you to embrace your creation. I want you to embrace your look. And I want you to make your look stand out and work for you. So you may be darker skinned. I might be lighter toned. But that's what makes us different. And in our differences is where we find that we are amazingly beautiful and that God is okay with how He created us, but we have to be okay with how God created us. God created us so that each of us could stand in our own lane, in our own grace, and just be authentically ourselves. So today I'm encouraging you to break the barriers and the limitations that social media and that they put on us when we look at the models on TV. You don't have to be super thin. If you're a little bit thicker, embrace it, baby, because that's how God wanted you to be. I might be short, but there might be girls who are taller. And in my mind, I'm okay with that because though I might be short in stock, I feel like when I walk into a room, baby, that I take over that room. I own it. I show up for myself and I don't feel like anybody in that room can see over me. You have to have that kind of Godfidence. Not confidence, but Godfidence. So confident in our God that He created you just the way that you are. And if I had to tell you again, I'll say it again. You are amazing. You are beautiful. You are the masterpiece of our Father's hands. And when He was thinking about you, when He was forming you in your mother's womb, He knew exactly how you would look. He knew exactly how you would speak. He knew exactly how you would walk and talk. He knew what kind of braid of hair you have on your head. He knew if you would have long lashes or short. He knew if you would have thick brows or thin. But guess what? He knew that you would be perfectly the way you are. You are perfect the way that you are. And don't let others put limitations on your look. Don't let them try to defy you by your look. Some people are sometimes jealous because you're tall. And you have to tell them, the Lord made me tall just so that I could look over those who think that they are better than me or try to intimidate me. So He had me to raise myself up to a standard in my height that I'll never look down. So don't be offended. Okay, so what? You're short. He wanted you to be able to look up towards Him and know that He's your help. Yes, baby, you got to work it for your good. Work your looks for your good. I remember growing up, I was always on the shorter side, and my parents are not that short, and my brother's pretty tall. And I remember saying, oh my gosh, I'm so short. But then I found out a little trick. Well, if I wore a skirt that was a little bit shorter, it made my legs look elongated. So it worked for my good. So sometimes you just have to work the way that God made you. And okay, I have moles like my great grandmother, but I realized that those moles on my face are my beauty marks. I didn't like them at first, but now I embrace them because they're what make me unique. I have very slanted eyes like my father and very long lashes. And yeah, sometimes my lashes get in my eyes, but I love them because when it's sunny outside and people are squinting and definitely need sunglasses, these lashes protect my eyes. So I embrace my flaws and all. I don't have a big forehead. People say I have the smallest forehead in the world. But I embrace it because it's what makes me me. So I want you to embrace what makes you you. What makes you stand out in the crowd against the others. Don't be so caught up in the hype of what others say that you should be. I want you to be authentically you. I want you to know that you are fierce, that you are powerful, and that you are strong. And I need you to know that your beauty is yours. Own it. Own it. Own your identity. I am beautiful. That's what God says about you. He says, you, my daughter, you are beautiful. I made you in my own image. Yes, you. You don't have to question it. And maybe others can't embrace it because they cannot embrace themselves. Don't allow them to make you pick that up. If they have issues with you because of the way that you look, let that be their issue. It's not yours. Your thing is to own your own identity. I identify myself with the attributes of Christ. I was created in his image. He knew what I would look like before I was formed in my mother's womb. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am the very masterpiece of my Father's hands. I am unique. I am majestic. I am all that God said that I would be. Yes, encourage yourself. Tell yourself, yes, he made me to be phenomenal. He made me to be outspoken and outstanding. He made me to be intelligent. He made me to be resilient. He made me to be strong. He made me just the way that I am. And the way that I am is how I'm supposed to be, just like Christ. So take on his attributes when you look at yourself in the mirror. Look at yourself in the mirror and identify yourself with the things of Christ and not with the things that people would try to hold on you and limit you to. You don't have to limit yourself to anything other than being authentically you. So I wanted to encourage you, and I wanted to come in on today, this evening, to just tell you to break the box of limitations that the world and society has tried to put on us to tell us that we have to look a certain way to fit in. We have to look a certain way to be a part of. That is absolutely incorrect. God made you just the way that you are. And I want you to be comfortable in the skin that you are in. I want you to be confident in the skin that you are in. Hear me and hear me well, beautiful girl. I want you to be confident in the skin that you are in. Break the box of the identity crisis across the globe because many struggle with figuring out who they are because of what society and social media tell them they have to be. You don't have to be anything, my beautiful girl, other than the creation that God made you, and he made you beautiful. So I leave with you today this affirmation. You, my beautiful girl, are unique. And I reaffirm you by the word of God. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Jeremiah 1:5. And that was the NIV version. You can find me here on Spreaker every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Connect with us on Facebook at Behind Her Eyes Mentoring LLC. You can connect with us on Instagram at BHE Mentoring 2020. You can hear our YouTube channel at Behind Her Eyes Mentoring LLC. And you can also find us again back here every Thursday. So until next time, be beautiful, be brave, be courageous, and beautiful girl, be fierce. Walk in the identity of Christ and not the identity of the world. The world cannot box you in. So I'll see you next time. And until then, stay beautiful.